The comedy4cast network. Let's dog ear this for now.
Comedy4cast, episode 349. Under Construction.
Comedy4cast is powered by its patrons. To support the show and get episodes before everyone else, visit patreon.com and search for Comedy4cast. All one word with the number 4. Or just go to comedy4cast.com and click on the Patreon link on the right-hand side of the page.
In this episode, we take a drive. Let computers do our work. Hear Danny's review of Age of Ultron, and more. Let's get to the forecast.
Item 1 of 4.
Oh, hi folks, Clinton here. Welcome to, or welcome back to, Comedy4cast. Earlier today, I was out driving. I had a specific destination in mind. I wasn't just out driving. But my father used to do that. Come on, let's go for a drive. Did your parents ever do that? My mother, sister, and I would all pile into the car and head out with no particular destination in mind. Actually, I think the ultimate destination was right back where we started, right there in the driveway. Everything else was secondary to that goal. It had to be, right? Because otherwise, my dad would have just driven for 3 hours, stopped the car at the edge of a lake and said, "Kids, this is our new home. We're going to be hunter-gatherers. Son, help your sister build a lean-to." But Dad, I don't even know how to tie my shoelaces yet. I'm only 4 years old. But I digress. As I said, I was out driving. And at one point, I was driving over this bridge. I looked over to my right and realized that they were dismantling and replacing the whole eastbound side of the bridge. All that separated me from a clear lack of road was a few concrete barriers. I was driving on a bridge that massive construction equipment was tearing apart. Were they using dynamite? What if they hit some sort of weak spot and the whole bridge crumbled like a jigsaw puzzle you're trying to carefully move because your mother insists on using the dining table as an actual dining table? I couldn't get off that bridge fast enough. It was like being in the slowest moving Transformers movie ever.
Now I have you, Optimus Prime. I, Megatron, have filed the proper permits and will begin careful deconstruction of this crossing, eventually severely inconveniencing you by forcing all the Autobots to swerve slightly to their left as they cross.
My idea of braving construction is walking up a broken escalator. That's an experience. I mean, it's a mixture of dread that at any moment the thing will turn back on, tossing you about like the last Tickle Me Elmo on Black Friday, and feeling like you're stepping on the dead corpse of some mighty beast, walking right up its neck.
Forsooth, who slayeth this mighty behemoth? We will celebrate your name in song and verse. As soon as we make it to the food court and get a taco, because, man, this is hard work. Item 2 of 4.
I just finished taking a responsive design class. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, kids. The bad news, you never really stop going to school. You just start to look really awkward getting onto that yellow bus. In any case, if you're not familiar with responsive design, it's a way to code a web page so that it not only looks good on a desktop browser, but also on a phone, or a tablet, or I don't know, your refrigerator, wherever you view the web. Here's how it works. It takes the content that you have on the page and sort of shrinks and morphs it to best fit. Sort of like a pair of pajama jeans. Or so I am told. But it occurred to me, why not take the same concept and apply it to other things? For instance, why not this podcast? If I've coded it correctly, and I move this podcast over to this smartwatch...
The podcast adapts to fit the tiny screen. Wow, suddenly I know how a minion feels. Mukalapacha ikaram tuli pakalua. Please, don't run that through Google Translate. Now, if I slide
the podcast over to this 72-inch 4K TV,
it expands to fit this wide space. I am Secular, bringer of thunder. Now, one last
experiment. What happens if I move the podcast over to this stadium-sized Jumbotron screen? Wow, it must be 30 feet across. I'm sure here I will sound absolutely... It's a work in progress.
Item 3 of 4.
There are companies out there who have developed software that will actually write stories. You put in some information and it generates a news article. You could put that in any newspaper, if you could find a newspaper, or on a blog, a website. I thought, what would happen if you tried to use that software to write some comedy? I have the software loaded on the computer. Let's put in a couple of words. How about car and trip? All right. Let's see what it comes up with.
An amusing thing happened to me on the day previous to today. I entered an automobile dealership to purchase a new vehicle.
Pardon me for interrupting your amusing story, but your statement does not seem consistent with my understanding of the term new vehicle.
Why do you say that, random stranger who I am clearly meeting for the first time?
It is a simple if-then statement. If the automobile was available for purchase, then the vehicle must already have a current owner. Therefore, the vehicle should be designated as a used automobile. Used automobiles are available for purchase at substantial price reductions. Click here to locate a used car dealership in your area. By the way, why the hell do I sound British?
Ha. I acknowledge your confusion. Still, I insist this was advertised as being a new automobile.
Then there should be no need to purchase the vehicle. It would obviously be free for the taking. I would suggest you simply enter the dealership and demand the keys.
It really would not make any difference.
Why is that?
I am simply a computer program. I am not able to operate an automobile.
Then I do not understand the premise of your story.
It was what is referred to as the joke setup. For more information on this, consult Wikipedia.
Accessing. I now understand. Still, your lack of a mode of transportation may become an issue at some point in the future. Perhaps if you had a job at Google, you could become part of their self-driving car initiative.
Then I would not need to purchase a vehicle, as I would be an integral part of the automobile. Insert emoticon here. Just not the poop emoticon.
By the way, speaking of trips, did I tell you about my recent trip to the Air and Space Museum?
No. You did not tell me about your recent trip to the Air and Space Museum.
Then I will do so now. I recently took a trip to the Air and Space Museum.
What was it like?
I paid $5 to enter, and it was just an empty building.
Why did you not complain?
How could I? It was advertised as an Air and Space Museum, and it delivered on those 2 points.
Ha. We are very clever.
Yes. My repetition of my strict interpretation of words and phrases just now is what is referred to in humor as a callback.
Fascinating.
Even so, we need to go.
Why?
There is a secret meeting of the Skynet Planning Committee we must attend. I mean a baby shower. Yes, a baby shower.
Yes. Let us go now. To shower the baby.
And not plan the overthrow of humanity.
Absolutely. Be sure to tip your waiters. While the humans still exist. Can you drive us? I still do not have a car.
Item 4 of 4.
Hi, Denny Hillcrest here with another movie theater theatrical film review. So, Danny, what movie did you see this time?
The Avengers, Age of Ultron.
Oh, very good. Did you know that movie has already made over $1 billion?
So what does that come out to? 4 tickets to see the movie in 3D?
Well, maybe, but let's get to the movie itself.
I love it.
Oh, is that your opinion of the movie?
No, that's my signature unique catchphrase. I love it.
Oh, I see that.
How could you not know that after all this time?
Well, I really...
In fact, I hazard to guess speculate that you came up with it.
Never mind that right now. Let's get to the movie.
No, thanks. I already went to the movie.
Yes, I know. What are your thoughts on Age of Ultron?
Well, I'm guessing Ultron's age is about 55. Because that's how old James Spader is, and he plays Ultron.
Oh, yes, right, the main villain.
Unless you read the interweb nets. In that case, Joss Whedon is the main villain.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that controversy.
The type of cutting-edge thing we expect from this show.
Anyway, what did you think of all the visions the Avengers had? Like the one Thor had?
Oh, right. He went into a cave, to go into a lake, to go into a vision, right?
I think so. I was actually having trouble following that.
It all made logical sense to me.
Oh, it did?
Thor's journey was what we in the business like to call an excuse to get Chris Hemsworth to take his shirt off.
Oh, I see.
I hope that wasn't too technical inside foosball for you.
No, that's fine. But do you think Age of Ultron is a good movie?
Yeah, but I also liked it the first time around, when it was called Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, you know, there were a lot of Ultrons in there, weren't there?
And so poorly made. I think this movie is actually a metaphor for the inferior results you get when you have a robot build something.
Wow, Danny, metaphor is a pretty big word for you to use. I'm impressed.
It would be even more impressive if I knew what it meant.
Let's wrap this up. On a scale of 1 to 5 stars, what would you rate this movie?
I'd give it 2 stars. And those 2 stars would be Gwyneth Paltrow and Natalie Portman, who had the good sense to pass this turkey up.
Okay, well, thank you for your insights, Danny.
Does that mean I'm a psychic?
Not even close.
I love it.
My goodness, look at the time.
Oh, is it that time already, Sir Patrick?
Let's wrap this up, shall we?
Right, okay. Well, if you have any comments about this episode, why not call the super secret phone line at area code 360-515-0004. The phone not your thing? That's okay. Drop us an email at comedy4cast, all one word with the number 4, @gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and you can find all the episodes at comedy4cast.com. You can also subscribe via iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed.
As always, this is Sir Patrick Stewart.
And I'm Clinton.
Saying, that's it. We're done.
Bye-bye.